guys. I show up here to share strategies, tips, resources, trends, all relating to PR, all relating to how you can provide the absolute best service possible for your clients. My goal for you is to run your own PR agency on your terms, keep your clients in the door, keep them happy, turn you into a pitching powerhouse, and make more money. Let's be real. That's why we're here. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR, and we are 16 years in business running our agency in Los Angeles, representing beauty and cosmetics, baby and kids, and health and wellness brands. Our agency has represented billion-dollar brands in each of our niches, which is so cool and crazy. And I just want to share with you all the strategies that we've learned along the way so that you can work with your dream clients too. This conversation is about how do you handle a media opportunity falling through last minute for a client. So the very first thing before anything is to know that when you are providing PR services to clients, it's extremely important that your clients' expectations are reasonable, realistic, and most importantly, aligned with what your results are likely to be or what you expect your results to be. Because we have found the number one source of client dissatisfaction, which means they're going to bounce and leave your agency, is that the results you get are not aligned with their expectations. Usually clients leave because they are dissatisfied, and that dissatisfaction comes from expectations not being met. So the very first thing you must do is be really clear, even if it's not exactly what they're looking for. You want to kind of under promise and over deliver. You want to make sure clients don't have these wild and crazy expectations that no matter how great of a job you do are very unlikely to be met. Okay, so you have to start out by having those challenging conversations. It's all about setting up and managing those expectations with your clients. Because if you are not on the same page, this is where issues start, dissatisfaction. This is where the seed is planted for them to leave and feel like they're not getting what they paid for. So we also know as PR professionals that nothing is guaranteed until you are holding it in your hand or staring at it on your computer. Seriously. Nothing is guaranteed, no matter what your media contact promises, no matter if your client is standing in the studio waiting to go on air, because they can get bumped. It happens. But part of our job is to communicate with our clients what they can reasonably expect. And I think letting a client know that a press feature is not guaranteed until they're holding it in their hand or staring at it on a computer, that's one of the things we have to communicate. That's the first step, is making sure clients know that sometimes features get pushed, news cycles change quickly, things can get adjusted last minute, that it's out of our hands. We need to make sure clients know that, we're working on these features that are based on, editors finding time, finding the right fit, us kind of convincing, and somebody can be interested, but until you see it, it is not guaranteed. So we need to make sure clients know that they can sometimes get pushed. It is not a pay-to-play opportunity. That's not what they're here for. So if one of your media opportunities falls through, the best policy for clients is honesty. Obviously it's not personal. Don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. Let your client know that you're following up with that journalist frequently to see if there's still an opportunity. Maybe the feature can get rescheduled, and maybe it's postponed, something like that. And because you put it, and because you put in the work to get all of the content in place, it's really a solid story angle. And the other thing you can do then, knowing that one journalist was interested and for whatever reason their availability shifted, now you can use that as a great solid pitch for other relevant outlets. So you have a winning pitch there. So if it's an interview and the content is already created, you can take that content and create other story angles around it and pitch it to other outlets. So all is not lost. There's still a solid, interesting pitch angle that you can use elsewhere, and you're going to continue to follow up with the original contact. And if that angle is no longer timely or relevant, you can go back to them with kind of an adapted angle, since you know that that journalist is somewhat interested in your client or interested in their products. And the other aspect of this that I wanted to mention with regard to the topic for today, how you handle a pitch that kind of gets rejected, or not rejected, but canceled at the last minute. What are we calling it? When it falls through. So you can continue to follow up with that editor, but you can also ask them specifically, can you let me know what might have happened? Or is there any other additional information you can provide to me about anything you're working on where this might be a good fit, down the line? And see if they'll give you feedback, because now you have an open dialogue with this contact. And, there's a lot of journalists that are PR friendly. We make their job easier, and they want to find a way to help you, and they want to find a way, to let you know how you guys can work together, because you are providing them with something useful and helpful, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, which is relevant, strategic, targeted pitches, so that it's not like spray and pray. If you're sending a pitch specifically to them and positioning it as relevant to them, you're helpful to them. So you're having a dialogue. They know that you know your stuff and that you know what they're about, and that you're going to feed them relevant story angles. So all is not lost. Stay on top in a non-harassy way. That's our style around here, is helpful, adding value, staying on top. So it's all about kind of setting expectations. That's the very first thing that you do to help get your clients on board and aligned with what is reasonable and realistic that they should expect. And you might have to have hard conversations with them to align expectations, but you should be doing that when you very first start working together. That shouldn't be after a media opportunity falls through. You are a proxy for your client. You are not an adversary with your client. You are partners with them. So you definitely want them on board with the way things actually are, because, their expectations are aligned with what's reasonable.